Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. In this particular video guys, I'm going to show you exactly how I draft this lovely wrap dress with a bishop balloon sleeve. Okay, so you can see that my overlap is much, and then the balloon sleeve is not very long, you understand, because I've drafted this and sew this in a way that I'm going to feel very comfortable when I sit and when I walk, and equally I can easily wear it. I don't want the sleeve to be too long or something. So if you're interested in this particular video, you want to learn how to sew this wrap, please do wait to stick with me to the end of the video. So guys, into the video proper, this is the fabric I'm going to use to make this lovely wrap dress. As you can see, it's so flowerish and beautiful, and then I'll just go straight into it now. As you can see that I folded my fabric, okay, just normally the regular way you're going to fold it when you want to start cutting. So using just a normal amount that will be enough for the up. So guys, I've taken this is my bust measurement, and that is what I'm taking, my bust point. Okay, I'm going for my bust point, and my bust point is 10-inch. So I'm going to mark it now. So when I mark it, then the next thing, I'll come down for my waist, which is from my shoulder to waist, which is 60 inch. That is the half length. Okay, that's half length or half cut to get my waistline. Okay, so I've already gotten my bust line and I'm getting my waistline now. So I'm going to come down just by 1 inch. So this 1 inch I'm coming down is the hem allowance, and the shoulder allowance. That is the seam I'm going to be using half for the hem, the waist hem, and the shoulder hem. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'll divide my shoulder into 2 and I'll add 0.5. So I have 8.5 here. So I'm just marking it now, and then I'm going to come down by that same 8.5 and I'll also mark it. Okay, so guys, as you can see me do, I'm going to mark the same 8.5 again. So guys, I'm just connecting everything all to meet each other. I'm going to extend the line of the underarm, this underarm line. I'm going to extend the line. So that line is the underarm line. Okay, so because that line is around the armpit, that's around the armpit line, that is the underarm line. So I'm going to extend it now out. Okay, so this particular underarm line, everybody have different names they call it. Okay, but you know that line is just around the armpit, so that is why it's called underarm line. So from the bust point, I'm going up 4 inch. But before that, I'm going to divide my bust by 4 and apply on the underarm line. Then I'm going to move up 4 inch from my bust point. I'm moving up 4 inch upward, so that becomes my across chest. So from there, I'm getting my across chest. So across chest measurement is different, as you can see on the screen. That is exactly how the measurement of across chest is being taken. So to get an accurate fitted chest fitting, okay, so that is the essence of the across chest. Okay, so I marked my across chest, and on it I'm going to divide my across chest measurement, which is 13 inch divided by 2, and I have 6.5. I'm going to add 0.5 to it, making it 7 inch. So I will just mark it. So now I'm going to use my curve rule and connect it exactly to meet at the point of the bust. Okay, to meet exactly at the point of the the bust point. That's the point I marked my bust measurement. So I'm just going to connect it like so, as you see me do exactly. Okay, so guys, as you can see, I have my perfect and accurate armhole. So with this armhole, I'm not wrong. So I'm going to shaping it by 1 inch. I'm coming down by 1 inch. Then on my neck, I'm going to come down by 1 inch and moving by 3 inch. Mind you, I'm drafting this is more like the back part of this bodies. Okay, so this is the back. I'm using the back. I'm going to use the back to draft the front, so it's best this way. So I'm drafting the back first of all. So I'm going to connect the shoulder slant to the neck, and that is it. So as you see me connect it, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out, because okay, before cutting out, I'm sorry, before I cut it out, the next thing I'm going to do is to add my allowances. So I'm going to add like 2 inch. So, and this remaining one here is just okay for me. So I will add the 2 inch allowance to it. So you can add 1.5, you can add 1 inch. I'm just used to adding 2 inch. So guys, that is it, and I've cut it out already. Okay, so after cutting it out, you can see how simple it looks. I'm now going to place it on the fabric I folded. So this fabric I folded it large, like it is enough. In other words, you're going to fold it, and because I'm going to be using like 6 inch for my overlap, so that is what I'm trying to say. If you want your overlap to be 7 inch or 8 inch or 5 inch, at this point where you want to fold your fabric for the front side, this is where you will determine how much you want to fold and how much you want to economize your fabric. Okay, so I make sure I fold this fabric to match with the bodies and equally the overlap the way I want it. So now I'm just going to roll out this line, okay, just to get my accurate line for my bodies, to make sure that everything is matching. Okay, so I'm going to move up from this point 2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to move up 2 inch. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm coming down by 7 inch. That is how deep I want my neck to be. So if you want your neck to be 6 inch, if you want it to be 5 inch, it's your choice. So at this point, this is the point to determine how much you want your chest to show. Okay, so if you don't want your chest to show at all, you can use 5 inch or 4 or 3 inch, so that you can lap properly, and then there is no need of wearing anything inside like tube or something. Okay, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Just follow exactly what I'm doing. So as I'm pinning this down now, I'm pinning it down. I'm just going to move this fabric by the side, so it will give me room to, from this point of the shoulder, I'll connect it exactly to that point of the 2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to use my hand and draft this. I wanted to use the curve to draft it at first, but I don't like the outcome. It will be too curvy, so I'll just go ahead and use my hand and draft it. So mind you, I'm connecting it straight to the point of the 2 inch, connecting it to the point of the shoulder, so to make sure that my shoulder matches each other. Okay, so this is exactly what I did. So now this point that I'm marking is my 7 inch, that is my neck. Okay, so I'll just go out now and trim it out, because that is all for the front side. So there is no other thing to be done. So this is all about the front side. As you can see perfectly, we have our perfect surplus. This is my 7 inch exactly, my 7 inch point exactly. Everything is matching, no confusion, and it's just fine. So that's all for the top, guys. So now the next one, I'm going to go for the skirt. So I'm coming down from the waist 8 inch. Okay, so to get my hip line, so I folded my fabric already, as you can see. So I marked this point, the 8 inch, and I'm connecting it. Then if you want to fold this, make sure you use your hip to fold this to get an accurate, so that you don't waste your fabric. You just get your hip, divide it, and then divide it by 4 and fold with some extra inches. That will become your allowance. So that is how the folding goes, so that you will not waste fabric. Okay, so now I'm marking the length of the dress. So normally the length of the dress, I've subtracted the up one, which is the upper bodice, and then I'm marking what is left of it below here. Okay, as you can see, so this part will look a bit shorter, so that is actually how it's supposed to be. So guys, after marking it, I don't know what is wrong with my chalk suddenly started acting out, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a more brighter chalk and rechalk it, so that it will look really more nicer. So I've been able to get a white chalk to retrace it. So as you can see, the second line I applied there is the joining allowance, that is for the up and down, just the half inch. Okay, so now I marked my hip measurement divided by 4 on the hip line, and I'm going to mark my waist measurement, and this is it. So my waist measurement divided by 4, I've also marked it. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it to the hip. So the next thing I'll do now is I'm going to use my long ruler and connect this down. So I want this down part of this to have a little A-line shape, not to be just straight. Okay, I want it to have this shape. So if you can see in the video, you see that it's a bit flared down, like, so it's not going to be straight. So I'm bringing down the exact measurements of my hip down on this. So whatever is left there, okay, after adding my 2-inch, I'm going to add the remaining whatever is left. I'll just stretch it out and match. So depending on how you want your own A-line, if you like the way the A-line is, if you want to maintain a normal straight, it's your choice. So meanwhile, this is my 2-inch and I'm adding it for the same allowance. So I'm just going to, from the 2-inch I have there, and connect it straight to the A-line. Okay, so it means that maybe my A-line I've added extra 2-inch, just 2-inch extra, so that becomes just a little excess for the A-line, just to give it the A-line shape. Okay, so it's not like it's too A-line, it's not like it's too much, just a little. So you can see how it is, so you can see the look. Okay, so guys, when you if you have a stretchy fabric, can you make this to really look nicer on it? Yes, you really enjoy it. So this is the back side, and I'm also going to use the same 6-inch. Remember I told you for the up one I use 6-inch as my overlap. Okay, so for the back, that is for the skirt, sorry, I'm using 6.5. So you can use 6.5, you can use the same 6-inch, but make sure you don't use more because you might end up trimming it out again. Okay, so I use this 6.5 because of some extra trimmings I might be doing. That's why I used it. Okay, so as you can see now, I'm just going to go ahead and curve this in like so, just the way you see me curve it, exactly like this, and I'll curve it all the way up. So I'm not curving this one to connect to the point of the skirt, I'm curving it to make sure it retains the normal 6-inch. Okay, so when I'm joining this, you will see the essence of doing this curve. So guys, please pay close attention to this part. Okay, and truly with this you're going to really enjoy sewing a wrap, okay, without pattern. So at this point you can see how I made my curve. Mind you, you can actually curve whatever you want to curve on this. I just decided, like I told you, I wanted my overlap to be well overlapped to cover me very well. Like I needed to something that would not, when it is not well overlapped, if you're walking or you're sitting, it might just, because it's more like a wrapper something you get. So that is why I need that overlap. So I cut it out, guys, as fast as possible. As you can see, very fast. So now I'm going for the sleeve already. So what I'm trying to make here is the sleeve, and the sleeve is a very simple one. The only difference is I didn't make mine to be very long, okay, and to also be very full. So but just follow this method, you're getting you will get the exact sleeve. So this is, I've come down from, what you're seeing now is I came down for my cap height, the sleeve, that is the height of the sleeve. I came down 6-inch, and on the line, that is where I got my cap height, the cap line. Okay, I divided my armhole measurement by 2, and that is what I applied. So now I'm going to get the midway of this straight line. So this straight line you see is connecting it to my cap height. Okay, so guys, I believe you understand this. But meanwhile, even as I divided my armhole by 2, I equally added extra 1.5-inch to my armhole. Okay, so that was how I got this, the mark of my sleeve I got there. I added extra 1.5 because, like, as you see the sleeve is not fitted on the armhole, it is wide. So even the armhole I made, I'm still going to go ahead and retrim it because I didn't pay close attention to that part. It was later on I noticed it, so I have to quickly correct it, guys. So as you can see, so this is midway. I'm just getting midway, just midway. So the essence of this midway is to get a nice curve. So from the midway of this side to the other one, I moved up 0.5. That is for the height. Then for the other one, I just came out by maybe 0.25. Okay, so I'm connecting it. So that is what you see me do, exactly like this. So you can see that with this you have a very nice shaped sleeve. So this sleeve is a bit wide. Don't forget, like I said, I added some extra. So now I'm getting the actual measurement, the length I want it, which is 8-inch. The 8-inch is what I want for this this particular length, because this sleeve is joined. It's not cut straight on flare. Okay, it's actually joined. Yes, it's actually joined. That's why I'm going with this system. So this is actually a bishop sleeve, and then you can actually cut it straight on flare. You can just, but this particular one is joined, and that is how this system came about. So I'm just going to go ahead and connect it together like so, because I've added this 2 inch. That 2 inch becomes the joining allowance. So don't forget, like I said, my sleeve I added extra 1.5 after I divided the armhole measurement, by 2. So I'm adding extra 1 inch like I always do. That 1 inch is for the joining, the half-inch for the downside, and half-inch for the upside. Yes, this one we are joining. We are not hemming, any special hemming. It's joining. That is what we are doing. Okay, so these are all my cut out pieces, because we are moving straight to start sewing. So along the line where we are sewing, we'll add our pockets. Okay, so as you can see how lovely our cut out pieces looks. So I have my band and my belt. Sorry, I have my belt. So guys, this is the body. So we are into the sewing now. So I'm just going to go ahead and place this right side facing right side, and then the next thing I'm going to do, as you can see already, it is well placed. I'm going to sew my shoulders by half inch, the half inch joining allowances. So guys, I'm going to be using this particular little fabric to make a band. The band I'm going to use to turn the side. So after I join my shoulder, I'm just showing you exactly what I'm going to do in the machine. After I join my shoulder, I'm going to use this band to turn everything round. That is to turn my neckline, the neckline, the shoulder, everything. So as you can see guys, I finished turning that. So I finished it already. I've joined my shoulder, I've turned it, and you can see how nice it looks. Very simple. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to go ahead and attach the skirt of this particular blouse. So I'm just going to attach the skirt. This is the back side. So I'm attaching the basket to the back. So guys, if you pay close attention, you will notice I didn't add any darts to this. Yes, that is because this is a free dress. Like, it's so free. I really don't see much need of adding that, and to me, I'm just okay the way it is. So you can as well add that on yours if you want. Okay, so this is it, and I'm just attaching it. Just follow exactly what you see me do, making sure that they are matching each other. Everything is meeting each other perfectly, so you can see, making sure. So before you attach this part, in case you can't see it clearly, make sure you like place it on the floor or place it wide on the table and see that everything is matching properly before you go ahead and start stitching. Okay, pin it down and then see the outcome. So after I pin it down, I'm just going to sew it by half inch. Okay, so as you can see, it is well attached now. So you can see that I'm just going to go ahead and attach it. So guys, I finished attaching it, and then I'll sew the side, taking in the 2 inch I added. But then on the waist, from the waist, I came down to the hip point again, to like as if I'm making a just 8 inch from the waist. So I got my hip point again, I marked it, and I move up 3.5 up waist and down waist. So that's for my pocket, so making a total of 7 inch. So that is for my pocket. Okay, so I've been able to join the other parts, but I left this space for the pocket. So you can see exactly, this is exactly how to fix this very simple pocket. So just place it right side facing the back of the skirt, and then go ahead and place the other side just like that, exactly the way you see me do. Okay, so then you go ahead and close it up like so. Just close it up like this. After you finish sewing this first part, then you go ahead and just sew it together from the one you already seam, the seam upwards. Just join it together. Just follow exactly my direction. I believe you can understand it from the way my hand is pointing at. Okay, so just follow it exactly, just sew it down and then move in just by ½ inch, move in by ½ inch. So just sew it down and move in, so that way you have your pocket ready, guys. So the next thing I'll do is to take the circumference of all these parts here, because I'm going to be turning it with my little flare. So this is my flare is ready, or my, how will I call it, yeah, flare. I'm just going to go ahead and use bias to turn them out so that it will have a nice look. So that is just what I'm going to do next now. So guys, just follow this step by step, and then you really come out with a very nice wrap dress. You'll be so proud of yourself that you did give it a try. Okay, so as you can see, I've done that, and I'm also top stitched after I joined it. After I joined it, I top stitched it, okay, so that it will lap. So this is it, as you can see. So there is no confusion, everything is good. So the next thing I'm going to do is to make my belt. So you can see my dress is almost ready already. It's almost ready. So do not forget to iron as you're sewing. Do not forget to iron. So this is my belt. I'm just going to go ahead. This belt is just like a 3.5. Okay, let me just say 3.5, because I actually didn't take a exact measurement. I cut from one of my pieces. When I was cutting, whatever remained, I got there, I just used it for the belt. So let me just say 3.5. That is what I used for it. So I folded in just like this. So this is just how you're going to fold it to make yours. Okay, so this is just like it's almost a 1-inch belt, not exactly, almost. So do not forget to start just using this method. Fold the head so that when you finish stitching it, you realize that it's just perfect. Okay, so this is the exact method. So guys, there are other ways you can actually sew belt too. This one is another quicker method, you know. So you do the same thing on this side, and then just go like so, and then you are good to go. So I'll just go ahead now and stitch it, and I'll join it to my fabric. So I'm going to make a little hole on this particular side of my dress. So I'm just going to go up a little bit from my waist, like ½ inch from my waist. Okay, just like ½ inch from my waist, and I'm going to make a hole, like just make like 0.625 hole, and then after that you go ahead and join your belt to this particular point. Okay, just join it, and that is it. So the next thing is for my sleeve, and I have my sleeve. I'll just go ahead and fit it together like so, like this, and I'll just go ahead and pin it down, and I'll stitch it by ½ inch. So every part you see me pinning down, just know that there will be a stitching on that particular part. So I'm also going to go ahead and stitch this part down, because that is where I'm going to fix my elastic. So guys, this is my belt, and this is my sleeve. So guys, that's the end of this lovely tutorial. So if you know you've enjoyed this tutorial so far, please do well to check out my other videos, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notification bell for more updates.